on today's video, we're about to witness the longest, craziest, biggest, everything rally Rise of Kingdoms has yet to see in the game. We're not only going to talk about the rally itself, we're going to talk about tips and tricks for you guys to know, first of all, how to hold for as long as they held, how to attack for as long as they attacked, the little tips and tricks you need to know, and the things that'll give you an extra edge. And at the end, we're going to break down 4 of the 5 reports that were generated from this 4.5 hour rally. Hey there YouTube, welcome back to the Gekko. We are witnessing SCK from Kingdom 148 holding on for dear life to this level 5 pass against Haka from Kingdom 149. Here's the deal. We're going to break down this video into a first quick couple of tips and tricks you need to know about holding and attacking for as long. And then from there, we're going to spend most of the time looking at the reports, which I have broken down into a ton of numbers on an Excel sheet. You guys do not want to miss that. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you're subscribing to it. And if you like this kind of content and want to see more, I have a crazy zeroing coming up too in the next couple of days. Make sure you're smashing the like button on this video. So here's the deal. We're going to start off as the defensive side, trying to understand what's going on here, as a sea of marches exists on either both defensive and offensive sides. Now, the defense is holding for a little while now. Those HP bars, both on the rally and on the pass, are not representative of what's there. Those are both full. And right now, you're seeing a Julius Caesar at the bottom of the pass with a pink sigil. That's a counter rally to the main rally that's up top with a Haka purple sigil. That's the first tip I have for the defense. The defense has to be ready. As soon as the offense rally comes out, a counter rally needs to be started. A full cav counter rally needs to be started. So the rally gets as soon as possible to its destination. And now you have not only the level 3, 5, 6, whatever pass hitting the rally, but now you also have a counter rally doing a lot of damage on the battlefield, a lot of severely wounded troops while you're leaving for your pass the deaths. So number 1 tip for the defensive side is counter rally the rally as soon as possible, fast calves really quickly, as much damage as you can, and just don't hold the counter rally for as long as possible. If it's starting to lose a significant amount, under half of the size of the rally, you should probably cancel it, or else the losses are really, really great. But still, a counter rally to do damage to the main rally is the number 1 tip I have for the defense. On top of that, obviously, you guys can swap out troops based on what's in the rally. So you got to keep scouting consistently and swapping troops, which you can do very freely. You can put multiple marches in the pass and all that good stuff. And of course, swap the commanding commanders, right? The captaining commanders on the pass in case you see that there's a better pairing that you can use with the troops you have against the troops in the rally against you. So that's tip number 2. Make sure you're swapping troops consistently, you're healing all the time, and you're swapping your commanders based on need. Now, the last tip I have for you guys, which is a little bit of a crazy one, is something I call the suicide debuffers. What you can do with suicide debuffers is, if you get so desperate to the point where you're looking for any advantage, you could send a set of tier 1s, full tier 1s with 2 debuffing commanders to go out there and potentially proc the 1 or 2 times, debuffing the rally when you're hitting it, and therefore doing a little bit of extra damage from the pass on the expense of healing a bunch of tier 1s, which is not the craziest cost. It could be worth it, but you don't have to, right? You can obviously send more than just like tier 1s. You could send full marches with silencing, deragers, debuffers, and all that good stuff against the rally on you, but that will come with severely wounded, which will come at a steep price of healing. Now, for the offensive side, if you guys obviously are not aware, what you can do is, once you're inside the rally and your troops have been depleted, you can drop the alliance, which will make your march get kicked out of the rally, and then you can rejoin the alliance and send a fresh march into the rally. That's what everybody's been doing. That's how these rallies are so long and last for this long. What you can also do, by the way, is send a counter rally to the rally, which you guys are seeing on the screen right now. A second purple sigil with a second Julius Caesar on the battlefield. It is hitting the counter rally, which is hitting the rally that's hitting the pass. So you'll see in a moment the counter rally evaporate, and so does the counter rally's rally, but the main rally and the pass stay there still fighting. So At the offensive side, you've already figured out how to get yourself again and again into the rally, kind of going around this whole thing that every player can have up to 1 march in a rally. So that's a little bit broken, but it is what it is. On top of that, you guys are going to see in a moment, the guys from Haka remembering the buffing commanders they own. You have Joan of Arc, you have Cleopatra who heals, you have plenty of others that do buffing to the nearby friendly armies, that it is really worth it to have a Joan of Arc with a proper Cleopatra standing right next to the rally that is and staying within your alliance, while someone else drops out of the alliance and fights that 1 march to cause it to proc the nearby buffs for the rally and the nearby enemies. And you can see right here the counter rally and the counter rally both going away. So in the offensive area, you can come in and out of rallies, and now you can send buffs as well to your rally. These are 2 crucial things to kind of try to break down this unlimited amount of marches that the defense is allowed to have in the past, by continuously adding yours as well, which is a little bit of a bigger hassle, but it can be done. And because you're on the battlefield, you can get yourself the buffs, which you can see right there, the Joan of Arc fighting some Richard on the battlefield right next to the rally, and you can see the healing by Cleopatra on the battlefield and all that. Good stuff by Haka. But now comes the juice of this video. We've talked about counter rallying on the defense. We've talked about potential debuff suicides, change commanders, change troops based on what the rally, and those are the tips for the defense. The tips for the offense are all about being able to rejoin the rally with a little exploit, sending your Joan and Cleo and a couple of other buffing commanders to the battlefield to fight next to your rally as it's fighting whatever destination it's fighting. And of course, you can always counter the counter rally. But this is where it gets interesting. This rally went on for 4 hours and 15 minutes. 4 hours and 15 minutes generated a total of 5 reports. As turns out, this game generates every full hour of rally a new report. So because that happened, some people didn't notice because of the insane amount of scout reports that they missed a report or two. And I got a hold of 4 of the 5 reports. We have the first hour of rally, the third, the fourth, and the last 15 minutes. And we're going to break down all those, and I'm going to show you everything here. We picked it up from Haka's side, which means on the reports, you can also see the counter rallies hitting the rally. So we did that math as well. All that is on an Excel sheet that I'll be reading through as we look through these insane reports. So the first report is upon us. An hour-long report, ladies and gentlemen. Look at how many green dots and how many people joined. The first rally came at 57.7 million power drop as millions died. The first rally came with an awfully big loss, 6.6 million dead troops. 6.6 million dead troops. On top of that, the offense, I think the defense, sorry, actually managed to heal 8.3 million troops healed by the defense. We had a total of 94 million troops participating in the rally versus the fort alone, versus the level 3 pass alone. 94 million troops, let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. That was 53 by the defense, 40 by the offense on the first report on the first hour alone. Now what you're seeing here is one of the counter rallies that came on to the first hour's report. This is only the first hour. First hour goes by, we have a total of 5 counter rallies. 5 counter rallies on that main first hour. On the main rally, there were 5 counter rallies on the first hour. There was a total of another 41 million troops participating. So on top of the 94 million we saw, you have an extra 41 plus all the solo hits that you're seeing. This is just unbelievable, unprecedented numbers. And because it was a battlefield fight, there were no deaths, but a lot of severely wounded troops out of these crazy fights. As a matter of fact, the counter rallies alone cost another 2 million severely wounded to the attacking side, while the defense itself ate another 2.1 million severely wounded. So the trade was kind of even, a little bit of an advantage to the attack, which was kind of shocking. But again, if you know what you're doing and you do it right and you have more tier 5s, it is so much easier to be able to hold against counter rallies, which got counter rallied, and therefore we didn't have the reports for that. But this is just the tip of the iceberg of the numbers, because you guys were only talking and looking at the first hour's report. Now, if there are a couple of things I've noticed here is the classic hold was broken, as I see this Julius Caesar and YSG. She's doing massive amounts of damage on the battlefield. I guess in that first hour, there were a lot of marches trying to push in and trying to swarm and do all these things. And we really saw 5 counter rallies. In one of these counter rallies, the rally itself got so low that it got below 600,000 troops. That was the best situation they got in the first hour. 2 of those rallies, of the counter rallies, ended up in that advantage of the defensive side. They actually finished the second counter rally and the fourth one way ahead, but just couldn't capitalize as more troops made it back into the rally, and everything went to hell. And this is all just a massive amounts of losses in people and marches in tier 5s. It's going to be scrolling for a little while. Absolute madness. So we're talking 94 million troops total participation in hour 1. Unprecedented numbers, like 75 million slightly wounded total. That's just madness. Madness. 6.67 million dead troops on hour number 1. And we're just getting started. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a hold of hour number 2, which I would assume would have been just as crazy. I can tell you that out of everything we're about to see, there is a total of a whopping 14 counter rallies to the main rally. And that is without one full hour. So if the second hour is just as good as the first one, we can actually count it as 19 counter rallies to the main rally over the course of 4 hours and 15 minutes. Now keep in mind, obviously, the gaps between the rallies as the counter rally hits, and it stays out there for a good 5-10 minutes because it keeps getting reinforced and things like that. So 19 rallies in 4 hours sounds crazy to me, considering those keep getting reinforced over and over and over, and these are just counter rallies to the main rally. Whew! It's a mouthful, isn't it? The Excel sheet is unreal. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about the general stats after we finish talking about the third hour, the second report we're about to see. And this one was just as surreal. It was a little bit lower in terms of the numbers, just a little bit lower in terms of the numbers on the first hour compared to the third hour. What we're looking at is at a staggering, unbelievable 89 million total troops participating in this rally. 89 million. This is a counter rally hitting the rally, and it's the first thing on the report, which we counted as well. This also ended up in a pretty significant situation for the defensive side as the rally was really depleted. And then came this. 6.43 million dead troops on rally hour number 3. This is hour number 3. This is the third hour. Through the third hour, another 6.43 million troops died. Another 8.4 million troops got healed by the defense. The offense had a little bit of healing, but nothing very significant to talk about. We had a total of 71 million slightly wounded troops and 5.5 million severely total. Now, counter rallies hit the rally on the third hour as well. And this time it was very, 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 very scary. I count 4 out of the 5 instances of counter rallies where the rally itself got so depleted that it almost went out. At its lowest point, the rally ended up with 205,000 troops in this third hour. And actually, someone within Haka said, I cannot believe these guys canceled the counter rally, because we had 200,000 troops left, and the counter rally plus the defense on the pass would have taken us out for sure if they hadn't canceled the counter rally. So a big mistake right there by the defending side, by SCK. But at this point, they're like 14, 15, 16 counter rallies deep. The counter rallies from hour 3 had an astonishing 35 million troops participate in them, with 1.5 million severely wounded to the defensive side, while 1.8 severely wounded for the offensive side. A big win there for the defensive side that almost really had it in this third hour. Unbelievable, unprecedented, mad numbers. And you guys are seeing counter rallies and rallies and things like that showing up on your screen. A lot of solo marches full of tier 4s. These counter rallies and rallies all had tier 5s, but Haka had clearly more. Haka had clearly more tier 5s, always constantly on deck. So all these tier 4s that took damage along the way and all that and just sacrificed themselves, it was a really rough one. Now guys, this report was generated at the end of hour number 2. We went from hour 0 to 1. We saw that. We skipped 1 to 2. And this is the end of our, what would be hour 3. Sorry, not hour 4, not hour 2, hour 3. So this is the end of hour 3. Okay. They've been doing this for 3 long hours. Leaving alliance, coming back in, rejoining the rally. Leaving the pass, rejoining the pass. Sending more and more into the pass. Healing. Swapping alliances because you got to heal and someone from your kingdom wants to help. Just unbelievable. Look at these numbers. When have we seen rally reports like this with just a stupendous amount of people? 89 million total people, troops in this. How crazy. Look at the... I couldn't show you guys this anymore because I was like, I'm just going to scroll to show you the crazy amount of people who joined here. And you can clearly see a lot more purples, a lot more of the tier 4s out here, but still a decent amount of tier 5s all across the board. This was so tough. This is such a tough hold. And this is 3 hours. 3 hours. Can you imagine how many people have been in and out? How many times some of these people have been in and out in the last 3 hours? Now, is it a smart thing to do? In my opinion, it is and it isn't. It is if you know that you're going to go all in and you're going to push and whatever. And you're going to win by brute force because you are much better, you're much stronger, and you have that ego to hold on to. And this, by the way, is the offense side. This is Haka, and you're going to see much more yellows in here than you saw in the previous scroll. These guys got into a kind of a head-to-head situation, and nobody was willing to budge because at this point we're already too deep in, so we might as well go all in. I don't judge them for doing this, but I think that there were some situations in here that I'm seeing where the rally was left off with like 600,000, 700,000, 200,000 troops, and these are points where most people cancel rallies to diminish losses, but rather than that, they kept taking the heavy losses to be able to rebuild and restart the rally again. This is report of hour number 4. 4 hours in. Look at the numbers. The numbers have gone down? No, the numbers have gone up. We're looking at 69.6 million power drop right there. 93 million troops in this rally, ladies and gentlemen. 8.3 million dead troops. This was the killer. 8.3 million deaths on that report. 7.3 million severely wounded on that report. A crazy 93 million total count. Now, again, one of the things that I did keep in mind and did take in account and all that good stuff is that, I mean, the numbers do reset, right? I mean, if the report is generated, the next report starts from wherever the rally is, and the numbers that keep joining into that throughout the hours are the numbers being calculated. So this was like 94 million players, troops, went down a little bit to 89 and straight back up to 93. I'm assuming that hour number 2 was much crazier than hour number 1, and then it went down on the third one and a bit back up on the fourth, and then the fifth, which was only about 15 minutes, that's when they got them out. At this point, only 3 counter rallies can be really shown on the report itself. There was a total of 11 million troops participating in counter rallies at this point. The counter rally offensive side was and I didn't show you, by the way, troop buffs and all that because it never worked. But not that many counter rallies around this time. It was almost the end. A total of an astonishing 93 plus another 11 million active in this 1 hour. Plus all these individuals taking all the damages and all the losses and all that I did not calculate. Like that guy got defeated with 6 figures in the hospital. This guy too. 6 figures in the hospital, not accounted for in the numbers that I'm telling you. And then, what else can I do? Just show you guys the unbelievable mad situation. Let's break down the final rally report, and then I'll tell you guys the final numbers, and we'll close the video off there because this is already way too long, and we're scrolling through reports crazily. The last bit was relatively short. Only 15 million troops participating in this one. 1.5 million deads, 1.4 million severely wounded, and 1 counter rally total. This counter rally was a 5 million troop counter rally, which had very little severely or slightly. This is like kind of the end. It's dying off. The other hours worth of counter rallies also had less than like 1 million severely total. It was like slowly and steadily really showing how those were being ineffective as the counter rally wasn't as strong. And to tally up all the numbers, ladies and gentlemen, as a total in the reports, 4 out of the 5 reports, so still this is not everything, I counted a total of 292.6 million troops involved in the maddest reports we've ever seen in our lives. This is 4 out of 5 reports, each generated after a full hour of rally, and this went on for 4 hours and 15 minutes. We had a total of 22.97 million deaths, and there is still a full report still to add to that. So it could be another 6 to 8 million deaths. So it could round up to like the 30 million. We had 20 million severely wounded, and as that pass goes all frownies, we had 92 million total troops in counter rallies. How crazy is that? All the numbers, everything and all in my Discord, link in the description down below. I will post this Excel sheet with all the crazy numbers. Everything you need to see is there. What else can I say? Congratulations to Haka for taking the pass after 4 hours and 15 minutes. Big shout out and a big thank you to the guys from Haka, and especially from Kingdom 149. The guys from Haka asked for a big shout out to everyone in Kingdom 149, to Haka and to VNTT for all the help and support doing this and getting this done. Guys, I'm the Gekko. I'm out of here. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. Warzy, big shout out to you guys too for letting me know this was going on. I caught 2.5 hours of this madness. And it was by far the craziest reports, craziest rally, craziest everything I've seen in my life. In the description down below, you'll find my Discord group where I'll post the Excel sheet from this fight, from this crazy war, if you guys want to look at the numbers yourselves. Everything and anything will be available in the Discord group as well. Smash the like button if you like this video. Another crazy zeroing happened today, which we're going to talk about in a future video very soon. I'll see you guys sooner rather than later. Thank you very much for all your continued support, and take care. Peace.